What did Dr. Oz say when your brain was flatlining?
They were just like, I don't, it was so long ago. I'm going to have to go back and rewatch it. They were like, all right, there's no explanation for this. There literally was like, there was no explanation. Like, I don't know what's happening, but this is happening. We witnessed it, and you're accessing a part of your brain that we typically don't.
Interesting. Well, today, if you see any orbs passing by again or anything, now
I did. I saw there was like an orb. Well, you're going to have to go back and watch it because it was like right before we started talking about it. I kept seeing this orb, and people have always been like, oh, it's the sun, it's this, it's that. But, you know, how many times you actually see like orbs sometimes, and, you know, you see something flash by, and, you know, just don't take those things for granted. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'm telling you, I got thousands of DMs saying like, why did you not?
But wait, were they from family or friends or just from people?
Just people that listen to the show being like, you understand that she basically was telling you that. And I'm like, and I literally was like, what? And I literally had to sit there and I was like, oh my God, you're right. Like, I was
oh
oblivious.
My God. Well, I can tell you though, that there are 3 souls that are present though. So there are three souls that I feel at this moment. I don't know exactly who they are, because what happens is spirit makes me feel the energy. They make me feel the bond in relationship. Then they bring me through their departure. And then they make me feel the burden or guilt that you are carrying from their departure, whatever it may be. But there is a father energy. So if it's not your dad, it would be like a grandfather or an uncle or someone like a dad to you.
A grandfather.
Okay. And I believe, I feel like I just had a flashback of our last interview. So I'm going to say that is probably who tried to come forward the last time. I don't remember. So know that he steps forward. And I felt when spirit shows me East Coast, West Coast, that's just my symbol for like a separation. It could be emotional, geographical. Sometimes we just didn't get to speak to someone before they died. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So know that he says, I don't want you to carry that burden or feel bad about that separation, whatever it may be. Fair enough. Are you private about that or about your grandfather, or you really don't talk about it? Because I felt this like wall go up, and I'm like, all right, that's my symbol for with someone. And I don't take offense to it. Like I get it, where someone might be private or they don't like to talk about personal things, or more importantly, their emotions.
I just don't like to talk about my emotions. Maybe this is why I am a gay male of a certain age who is single as can be. I mean, this might be it, right? So it's not really my grandfather per se, but there was like a distance when he passed and I was away.
Okay, that's fine. Does not want you to feel bad about that, because sometimes that does affect our healing process. Like, oh my God, I'm going to hypothetical this. I never should have went away. I was being selfish, whatever it is. How would I know something like that? Right? Yeah. Saying, I don't want you to carry that burden or feeling that way connected to my departure, being able to let that go and supporting your choices and decisions. Now, this is something common that spirit might show me. I just asked him to validate that I was interpreting it correctly. So when spirit shows me an Old Spice bottle, that's my symbol for that we smell something of that loved one. I don't care what it is. Sometimes people smell cigarette smoke, a cologne, but it's just for that split second, and there's no reason why we should smell it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And does it remind you of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Know that that is his soul. Know that that is him letting you know at that exact moment that he is with you, loving and guiding you, not upset or disappointed.
Well, right. I mean, I was away. So the distance thing is.
Okay. How do you connect with quarters? Or sometimes when spirit shows me change, there's several different things, but quarters is something a little bit different. When spirit shows me quarters, it's either it's always with change in odd places, but with quarters, it could be like, I don't know if he collected coins or if there's something with state coins that he collected or that you like or that you find.
Well, my grandfather was always about save your money and was constantly rolling, you know, like the old timers, like roll the money in those things and bring them to the bank and say, here's the, you know, like all these, he was doing that and then saying, do this and go to the bank and here it is. And here's your first. So that's something.
And he just said to me, he goes, and David does not save his money.
Listen, when you live in New York City, we all live. Our version of saving money is I do save money, but probably not according to my grandfather or parents or anyone else in my family. They think I live
Got it.
very
But
fast.
it's just validate. I just asked him to validate that I interpret the information correctly. That's what my job is. And that is it. So do you have a friend that passed away? Who died tragically?
A cousin, a first cousin.
Okay. Only because he started bringing him forward, just bring forward another soul, validating. And then the soul went like this. And then when spirit makes me, when they make me taste something, either like a pill or blood, and then they hit me in the back of the head, that's my symbol for where they die tragically and unexpected, and validating that the soul is at peace, even though they might have left the physical world in a non-conventional way, validating that the soul is truly at peace. And who is the mom that is departed as well?
Grandmother.
Okay. So know that they're all together on the other side.
That makes logical sense.
Were you very close to your grandmother?
Close from like, a grandparent.
Okay.
Point
well,
of view.
Listen, some
But
people
close,
don't even know their grandparents. Some people
Yeah.
don't even have that opportunity to have a relationship. But when spirit shows me my grandmother or my grandparents were like my parents. And I literally saw like your grandma, like she went up, pinched your cheeks and was like, Michelle, like that's just my symbol for where you had a bond with her. And it was almost like, this is my baby. This is my little Davy.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's such a sense of pride that comes from them. And the reason why I say them is because the three souls do not separate. They stay together. So validating for you that what you've done with your life, and I'm only going to say this because that your grandfather just showed me, my grandfather, when he was in rehab, everyone knew who I was, but my grandfather really didn't have a clue, like he didn't really understand. And he'd go, yeah, they put my granddaughter on TV. They pay her money to talk. She loves to talk, my granddaughter. So when spirit shows me that, and I love that they showed me something so personal with me to really show on how proud they are of you, your life choices, and more importantly, decisions, and also on how you have chosen to carry yourself with dignity and grace. So I don't know if there were issues within the family or if there was some problems, whatever they may be, that's your business. But I feel like they felt it important enough to validate for you on how proud they truly are of you.
Wow. Well, the distance and the quarters and the cousin who passed like tragically from something that wasn't pleasant. You know what I mean? It was one of those.
Okay. Oh,
that's right on the money.
So just know that the souls are all together and that's it. Like, I felt like there was nothing like, look, some people come from many different reasons. Some people lose a child. Some people will lose a pet because it's like a child. Someone might lose their spouse. Everyone comes to the experience or wanting to have a reading for many different reasons. And I always say there's no one deserves one more than someone else. Healing and grieving we're hurting and we deserve to be able to heal in a positive way. And that's why I do what I do.
Are the souls, so like, okay, so here's like my grandfather and my grandmother and my cousin, like, are the souls usually always together when it's like a family? Is that always what happens, or you don't know?
Yeah. So sometimes one person will just come through for someone. Sometimes there'll be 5 people. They'll show me like generations. A lot of times souls will come forward, even if they didn't know each other, but they were connected to you. They're connected on the other side because the souls were connected to you.
Do you ever have, because like in the show that I went to, you didn't get into specifics, but there was someone who I forgot if it was like her son or her brother, whatever it was, like you were being respectful, but there was a spirit who came through that you said to the woman and like the audience, like this person died like in an unsavory manner, like you said, but like it was implied like he wasn't such a good person in this world. Do spirits ever come through like hostile to you, where like they might just be bad people?